end tonight. In this world it's hard to get it right. Trying to make your heart fit like a glove. What it needs is love, love, love. Everybody wants to love. Everybody wants to be loved. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody wants to love. Everybody wants to be loved. Oh, 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 oh. The heart that still feels pain. Darkness drains and light will come again. Swing open up your chest and let it in. Just let the love, love, love begin. Everybody wants to love. Everybody wants to be loved. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody wants to love. Everybody wants to be loved. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody knows the love. Everybody holds the love. Everybody folds for love. Everybody feels the love.
I'd like to go to Senator Santorum with a similar topic. We're in a state where it is legal for same-sex couples to marry. 1,800, in fact, couples have married since it became law here in New Hampshire. The legislature passed it a couple of years ago, and they're trying to start families, some of them. Your position on same-sex adoption, obviously you are in favor of traditional families, but are you going to tell someone that they belong in as a ward of the state or in foster care rather than have two parents who want them?
Well, this isn't a federal issue. It's a state issue, number one. The states can make that determination. In New Hampshire, my feeling is that this is an issue that should be done. I believe the issue of marriage itself is a federal issue, that we can't have different laws with respect to marriage. We have to have one law. Marriage is, as Newt said, a foundational institution of our country, and we have to have a singular law with respect to that. We can't have somebody married in one state and not married in another. If we were successful in establishing that, then this issue becomes moot. If we don't have a federal law, I'm certainly not going to have a federal law that bans adoption for gay couples when there are only gay couples in certain states. So this is a state issue, not a federal issue.
I gotta tell you something. Well, I'm straight.
Children raised by homosexuals do not necessarily become homosexuals.
I don't think it would make much of a difference if they were gay or not. I think the children would be a little more accepting than the rest of society.
I don't see how they would be judged any differently than heterosexual parents. All it takes is commitment and love and consistency.
I believe so. That's just my personal belief, only because you're influenced by who you hang around with as well. If you hang around a bunch of lowlifes, chances are that's where you're going. And I'm not saying they are, but that's an example.
I don't know, I think that just depends on the person. I don't think it really has much to do with being gay or not.
No, it's well, it depends on what country though. I mean, some countries are not free, and some are. So it also depends on the country. But besides that, adoption agencies shouldn't be racist to any kind.
I don't think so, really. I mean, there's not really any reason for them to do so. So, I mean, I don't know why we would legalize discrimination.
Sweet. I think the reason that we got a lot of the same answers for our interviews was because we were interviewing a lot of people from like our younger generation, and I think that because our generation is like exposed to so much more, I think we're prone to being more open, which I think was like a good example of the struggle between like different ideals, because like the older generation doesn't agree with the younger generation.
I think Mrs. Wertz had a more open opinion because she's more, she has a wider base of people she knows because she has a classroom and she talks to people all the time. Mr. Boehm is more secluded in his office and has a more like closed-minded view on the opinion.
The younger generation is more open to like gay adoption and other controversial issues because they've been more exposed, unlike the older generation who grew up being taught that a lot of the stuff was bad and not right. So since the younger generation now is more like integrated into that society where it's more acceptable, they feel that it's not as bad. And so this is like how the conflict theory comes into play, because the younger generation is kind of battling with the old generation, and I feel that in time the younger generation, once the older generation moves or dies or goes away, then the younger generation's ideas will come into play and it'll be more open.
Florida's strict ban preventing gays from adopting children is getting challenged in court.
I love being a foster parent.
Martin Gill and his partner have been guardians for kids for years and say all they want to do is continue to be the best dads they can be.
Me and my partner can provide them with a continuity that only we can provide them with. A separation at this point would be devastating.
However, activists on the other side of the issue say that in general, children fare much better in traditional households.
Children always flourish better when they're put in the context of both a mother and a father. That's the idea.
As of now, the law says gays cannot adopt even if they could otherwise qualify as parents. Florida is the only state in the nation with such a law, and attorneys for the state argue it shouldn't be overturned because there are purportedly heightened risk factors among potential gay parents. Gill, though, says that puts children in need at a disadvantage.
I don't think that there should be any blanket ban. I really think that it should be on a case-by-case basis.
A decision isn't expected for months. Ross Simpson, The Associated Press.
Come on, skinny love, just last the year. Poor little soul, we were never here. My, 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 my. Staring at the sink of blood and crushed veneer.